Right.
Thanks. Over to you.
So this is one half. The Timon LeDain will hopefully be here in just a moment. But really excited to be part of this and part of this book effort. So we're here from Macadamian, and we're actually two members, but certainly a much larger team of people here at Macadamian contributed to this, from our designers and our engineers, who are building and solving some of those early challenges that we're seeing as voice actually becomes more prominent in the industry. I mean, if we look back, voice has been around for a long, long time. And we've seen a lot of different voice applications and voice solutions, a lot of dictation within the healthcare industry for a period of time. Welcome to Timon. And I think, we get a lot of requests from people who want to go and do a project, who want to do something. And ever since really Siri came out, there's been a lot of demand from people to come along and say, hey, I really want to build this new solution. And it's, a web application, it's a mobile application, it's got all of these features. And then Siri came along and I said, oh, and I want it to be like Siri. And that was kind of a great introduction to, hey, people really want to attach to this. Like Siri caught people's imagination at a point where it was new, and it actually really helped them get things done. And so that was a starting point, but the technology and the ecosystem around it wasn't really there yet. So we had to wait a few more years until we sort of got to Alexa. And that one, with the developer ecosystem, the ambient computing components that sort of came with it, really kickstarted things. Now people felt that this is achievable. And there's still a lot of challenges that were out there, especially early on. We still, Stuart was mentioning earlier, some of the proactive health stuff. How do we get these things to engage with people? We heard more stuff about, HIPAA compliance, and well, we're still sort of in that environment where we're overcoming some of those challenges. But a lot of those pieces are things that we've been fortunate enough to work with different clients through to actually build out and work through some of those solutions to actually get pieces into the market. And so that's kind of the starting point for where our chapter comes from. It's a look at, what have we been seeing as people coming to us building healthcare applications? What are they trying to do? How do they want to leverage voice into an existing application, or just start again? We start looking at voice into EHRs. How do we have that voice in the consulting room so that it's just there, it's taking those notes? And Ewan did a wonderful demonstration of that last year at HIMSS. So I think that's the piece where we've tried to contribute our sort of knowledge and experience, and just sort of share some of the best practices that we've encountered to help push through some of the roadblocks that are out there. I mean, the technology will continue to evolve and grow, and we're going to get to a point where they're not roadblocks anymore. They're just part of the standard ecosystem that we start to see. So I'll pause there, and maybe Timon, you can talk about some of the examples.
For sure. So, I mean, as popular as voice is becoming, in reality, we're really in sort of like the third generation iPhone equivalent of voice today. So think of all the progression of smartphones in the past decade, and I think we can expect a lot of those to see a lot of those in voice. One of the things that really is exciting, and I think what propelled voice beyond Siri, is the ability to kind of disembody it from a device. So the idea that it was ever present in the environment, that you could just call out for it. I mean, it was previously, to the super rich to have a personal assistant at their beck and call, just a shout away, and now we can all have it for $30. And so this opens up a ton of new opportunities. And one of the things we explored when Merck and Amazon actually, launched the Alexa Diabetes Challenges is how could voice impact chronic disease management. And so we set about to build a concept that we're now actually commercializing with one of the large glucose meters, to see just what could be done. And really what we learned is when you combine voice with other modalities and other elements, so that it's context aware, so that it's personalized, so that it's empathetic. You can really go so much further than what you're restricted to on a mobile device. So in this case, the use case is someone struggling with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and wondering at any point in time, what's their best course of action. And so voice is such a great one there. You've just taken a glucose reading and you're not sure what, you're newly diagnosed with a chronic illness. So how do you react with that? So a virtual coach, you can say, hey, Alexa, tell my coach I've just taken a blood sugar reading and I'm not sure what to do. And Alexa pipes up and says, oh, you've got a low blood sugar situation, and you're normally apt to skip breakfast on Mondays. So, please try to get some breakfast in you, or at the very least, drink a glass of orange juice. And so, just that simple suggestion, can alter a person's outcomes from having a low blood sugar. In other healthcare applications, we're learning of the burnout of physicians kind of catching up on their charting. EMRs are great, but a lot of us are now experiencing the situation of, you're facing your physician's back and while they type in their notes, right? So the ability of voice tech to detect who the speaker is and then transcribe in a format appropriate for EMRs what happened, so that when the physician says goodbye to their patient, all of that is captured and they don't have to spend several hours after the fact going through that. So
your chapter was one of the hardest to place, because you guys really did a great job of bridging that transition from the home care and patient experience to the clinical environment. And for me, when we were looking at it, we said, let's edge it just slightly to the home side, and it'll be the last chapter in that section that is a great transition to the provider section. That was really a special way to be able to do that. So your chapter was really instrumental in being that kind of bridge too. And all the work that you've done at Macadamian is really appreciated. Again, another group that's been kind of with us since the start of thinking about this at one of the first Project Voice conferences, and when Harry Pappas was first floating the idea from some of the outreach that he had from the Alexa team at Amazon too. So thank you for doing that for us and with us too.